What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Celebrity Central, where we serve up the hottest tea from Hollywood's most famous families. I'm here, and oh my goodness, do I have the most adorable celebrity story for you today. You know how kids have absolutely zero filter and will roast their parents without even realizing it? Well, little Stormi Webster just did exactly that to her mom, Kylie Jenner, and honestly, it's the funniest thing I've seen all week. We're talking about a 6-year-old accidentally becoming a comedy genius by basically telling her billionaire mom that her old photos are. Well, let's just say Stormi was not impressed with the King Kylie era. And the internet is absolutely living for it. Before we dive into this hilarious family moment, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're about to break down everything that happened. Plus, I've got some exclusive insights into how the Kardashian-Jenner kids are basically becoming the family's unofficial comedy relief. Okay, so here's what went down. Kylie Jenner was doing what any of us would do on a lazy afternoon, scrolling through old photos and probably having some nostalgic moments. You know, those classic King Kylie days from around 2015 to 2016 when she was serving looks left and right, had those iconic colored wigs, and was basically the internet's main character. So Kylie's looking through these throwback photos, and apparently decided to show some of them to her daughter Stormi. Now, remember, Stormi was born in 2018, so she's never actually seen her mom during the peak King Kylie era. To her, mom has always been the current version we know today. According to Kylie's Instagram story, which has since been deleted but not before fans screen-recorded everything, she showed Stormi some photos from 2015. We're talking about those iconic shots. The blue hair, the dramatic makeup, the over-the-top poses that had everyone trying to recreate her looks. And Stormi's reaction? Absolutely priceless. This little girl looked at the photos and apparently said, and I'm quoting here, "Mommy, why did you look so weird back then?" But wait, it gets better. When Kylie tried to explain that those were cool photos and she was being fashionable, Stormi allegedly responded with, "But you look much prettier now, why did you want to look like that?" I cannot even handle the secondhand embarrassment and pure comedy of this moment. Like, imagine spending years building this iconic era of your life, having millions of people copy your style, and then your own daughter is basically like, "Mom, what were you thinking?" Now, for those of you who might be too young to remember or need a refresher, let me paint you a picture of what the King Kylie era was all about, because Stormi's reaction makes so much more sense when you understand what she was looking at. We're talking about 2015 to 2016 Kylie, when she was around 17 to 18 years old. This was peak experimental Kylie. She was switching up her hair color every other week. One day she'd have cotton candy pink hair. The next week it was electric blue. Then suddenly she'd show up with mint green waves. The girl was a walking rainbow. The makeup was intense. We're talking about heavily contoured faces, dramatic winged eyeliner that could cut glass, and lips that were so overlined they basically had their own zip code. Don't even get me started on the poses. Every photo was a full production with dramatic angles and serious facial expressions. But here's the thing, at the time this was everything. Kylie literally had teenagers across the world trying to recreate her looks. The hashtag #KingKylie hashtag was trending constantly, beauty tutorials were popping up left and right, and she was single-handedly influencing beauty trends for an entire generation. Fast forward to today, and Kylie's style has definitely evolved. She's gone for a more natural, sophisticated look, especially since becoming a mom. Her current aesthetic is much more refined, with softer makeup, more natural hair colors, and a generally more mature vibe. So when you think about it from Stormi's perspective, she's used to seeing her mom looking polished and elegant. Suddenly being shown photos of blue-haired, heavily made-up teenage Kylie probably was pretty shocking for a 6-year-old. The best part about this whole situation is how the family reacted. According to sources close to the Kardashian-Jenner clan, everyone thought Stormi's comments were absolutely hilarious. Kris Jenner reportedly couldn't stop laughing when she heard about it, and allegedly said something like, "Well, at least we know Stormi has good taste." Even Kim Kardashian jumped in, apparently telling Kylie that kids are the ultimate truth-tellers and maybe Stormi was onto something. But the real entertainment started when fans got hold of this story. Twitter exploded with people sharing their own throwback photos and asking their kids for honest opinions. The hashtag Stormi's review started trending, with people posting side-by-side comparisons of their old looks versus current looks. Some of the comments are absolutely sending me. One fan wrote, Stormy said what we were all thinking but were too scared to say. Another posted, "This baby really looked at King Kylie and said, 'This ain't it, Mom.'" The memes that came out of this are incredible. People are creating TikToks where they show their old photos to kids and record their reactions. It's become this whole trend of kids react to your old photos, and honestly, the results are comedy gold. But beyond the laughs, this has actually sparked some really interesting conversations about how our beauty standards and personal style evolve over time, and how sometimes it takes a child's honest perspective to make us realize just how much we've changed. This isn't the first time one of the Kardashian-Jenner kids has accidentally become a viral sensation with their brutal honesty. These children are honestly providing some of the best entertainment in the family. Let's talk about North West, who is basically the queen of throwing shade at her famous family. Remember when she told Kim that her house was ugly and too white? Or when she rated Kim's outfits and gave her some pretty harsh scores? North has zero filter, and we're honestly here for it. Saint West has had his moments too. There was that time he told Kim that her singing was not good when she was practicing for SNL. And Little Psalm apparently once asked why Kim talks to her phone so much when she's doing Instagram stories. Penelope DeSick is another one who keeps it real. She's called out Kourtney's PDA with Travis Barker multiple times, and honestly, someone had to say it. And who could forget when Mason DeSick went live on social media and started spilling family tea before he even hit double digits? The kid was ready to expose everyone. There's definitely a pattern here. These kids are growing up in the spotlight, but they're not impressed by fame or status. They see their parents as just their parents. And sometimes that means delivering some harsh truths that the rest of us are thinking but wouldn't dare say. I reached out to child psychologist Dr. Amanda Foster to get her take on why kids like Stormy are so brutally honest, and her insights are actually really fascinating. According to Dr. Foster, children Stormy's age haven't fully developed their social filters yet. They say exactly what they're thinking without considering how it might make someone feel. To a 6-year-old, they're just making an observation, she explains. There's no malicious intent, they're genuinely just sharing their thoughts. She also mentioned that kids this age are starting to develop their own sense of aesthetics and preferences. They're beginning to understand what they think looks good or bad, but they don't yet understand that these preferences are subjective or that commenting on someone's appearance might hurt their feelings. What's particularly interesting in celebrity families is that these kids are exposed to their parents' public personas from a very young age. They see old photos, videos, and content that most kids never would. So they're essentially watching their parents' entire evolution in real time. Dr. Foster also pointed out that Stormy's comment wasn't meant to be hurtful. She actually said Kylie looks prettier now, which suggests she was trying to give her mom a compliment while also expressing confusion about the old photos. These moments can actually be really positive for family bonding. When parents can laugh at themselves and not take their children's comments too seriously, it creates an environment where kids feel safe to express their opinions honestly. At the end of the day, this whole situation is just so wholesome and hilarious. Stormy didn't mean to throw shade, she was just being a typical 6-year-old with zero filter. And honestly, we could all learn something from that level of honesty. I think what makes this story so engaging is how relatable it is. We've all had moments where we've looked back at old photos and cringed a little bit. The difference is, most of us don't have our 6-year-olds calling us out on it in front of millions of people. But there's something really sweet about how Kylie handled it. Instead of getting defensive or upset, she seemed to find it genuinely funny. It shows that despite all the fame and success, she's still just a mom dealing with typical mom moments. Okay, now I need to know, have your kids ever roasted you about your old photos? Drop your stories in the comments because I know some of you have some good ones. And be honest, do you think Stormy was right about the King Kylie era? Actually, you know what? Let's make this interactive. Post a throwback photo of yourself in the comments, and let's see if we can guess what a brutally honest 6-year-old would say about it. I might even feature some of the best ones in next week's video. If this story made you laugh as much as it made me laugh, smash that like button and subscribe for more celebrity family drama. Trust me, with the Kardashian-Jenner kids growing up, we're going to have plenty more content like this coming our way. Speaking of celebrity kids, next week we're diving into some of the most iconic celebrity child moments of 2024, and let me tell you, some of these kids are absolutely savage. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching Celebrity Central, where the tea is always hot and the celebrity kids are always keeping their famous parents humble. And remember, sometimes the best comedy comes from the most unexpected places. See you next time.